Hello everyone, welcome back to this tutorial. So now that we have already downloaded the example file or application, we are now ready to actually install this. So it's last time it actually appears here. So once the installation is finished, or I mean downloading is finished, you can actually click it here directly, or you can simply go to your downloads in this browser and then click on show folder if you want to see it, or you can simply click this one directly and just click on yes. Then you can now close this one. So let's just wait for a while. Once it appears, you just have to follow the instruction. So for this, it's just giving you a prompt warning message where it's just a security measure of Microsoft where you actually installed a possibly restricted application. So just click on OK, and after that, click on next, and then just leave it as it is, and then click on next. In here, you will be asked to install a your exam to certain directory. So this time, this will be installed under C, and then it's going to name its folder by exam. So if you want to install it to other directory, you can just click on this and then choose a directory. And then after that, click on next. Okay. So once you have already installed XAMPP right there, you will be asked something like this one. So you just have to click on OK, and then you just have to continue, and then or because it's already installed, uh, I will now have to uh, exit this one. So anyway, you'll just have to follow on the next a series of next button, and then after that you will be redirected with this installation setup dialog box saying it's you're ready, already finished installing it. So click on finish, and then you will have here the exam control panel. So in the exam control panel, the things that we are going to actually do right here is this one is for the Apache and the MySQL. We'll need to click this one. We'll need to click start to start the our server. So basically, again, this is our XAMPP folder, XAMPP folder. So by the way, when you close this one, this is going to be under in your taskbar. The taskbar, yeah. So you'll just have to click this one. So if you want to exit it, to really quit it or something like exit it successfully, I mean, you just have to right click this icon right here and then click on quit. But again, it's actually always running there. So you just click on that, and then you will be again shown with the dialog box saying this no that our Apache and MySQL is now starting. So if you are going to click on stop for this one, so of course this your server is no longer starting, but it's still going to be running here. So just click on start and then click on start also. And then for this, I want you to click on the admin. So this will be redirecting us to PhpMyAdmin. So, or you can actually simply type localhost /PHPMyAdmin to actually locate your localhost of PHPMyAdmin. Okay, and here you will be listed with you will be listed here with the what they call this one, the database that are actually stored in that are actually created in your server or in your computer. So for this one, let's gonna be creating a database file right here. So just click on new. Okay. Once you click on new, you will be asked to create a database name. Let's say DB sample. All right. Then after that, I'm going to click on the create button. Okay. And then after that, you will be asked to create how many tables. I mean, you'll be asked to create a table. Let's say this is TBL sample, and you will be asked to have how many columns for this one. So how many columns? Let's say I will have to have 4 columns, and then after that, just click on go. 4 columns meaning 4 fields. Okay, click on go, and after that, so this time, you have here the window. As you can see, you can add another columns if you want 2 or 3 or 4. You can have additional columns for your table. So basically, your table is going to is the it's the analogy for parang it's the definition for storing records. Okay, so and the fields are used for storing data to a specific field. Okay, for an instance, we are going to store in this particular table, we are going to store, let's say, ID. All right, so let's say we are going to store person. So person ID, and then we have the person name. So why I'll start with person, because I want it to I mean, because we are going to store a person's name or person's information. Let's say person, gender. So question, is it okay, sir, if diretso na siya like ID, name, or gender? Yeah, it's okay. No, it doesn't matter anyway. So, but what I should be like, I would be recommending you to as to what it represents. I mean, as to what your table represents, on what data is going to be maintained. It would be better if you actually like for an instance, dapat TBL person ni siya, no? Stands for TBL stands for table. Though pwede rin siya person, but uh, mas okay siya na TBL is the prefix for underscore person of TBL, so that every time you are going to access a table, you are going to always start with TBL or TBL. Okay, and then because let's say this is a person table, we are going to store the person's ID, name, gender, and age. Now, the next important thing you will need to understand right here is this data type. So in this particular column, I mean this particular drop down, so you are going to select a certain type. Okay, so you will have here listed a different data types. So for integer, if you want to store whole number, you can actually use int. For varchar, you can use this is for any kind of characters. Either it's a number or either but normally it's a string or it's a sequence of characters. Like, okay, then we have here for text, it's a longer character than the varchar, and then for date, and then you can also store tiny int, small int. I mean, use data type for your type as tiny int, small int, and other integer types. For decimal with floating point or decimal point values, you can use decimal, float, double, or real numbers. So real numbers are used for currency. Let's say you have price rather, okay, or grade. Okay, so we have here also bit, okay, which is 1 bit is 1 bit, okay, which is one byte is equivalent to 8 bits. So we have Boolean, true or false, and then other data types which are okay. So far, let's get to use int for our ID, and then for our person name, we are going to use, let's say, varchar. Okay, and then for gender, it's also going to use varchar, and then for person age, we're gonna be using tiny int. Okay, so because int is like it's actually it's 2 billion, up to 2 billion. You can actually store data to it or number to it up to 2 billion of number, or its limits it is up to 2 billion. So this time we're gonna be defining the length or values for each particular column. Let's say for int, we are not going to define any length. For varchar, so let's say we want this name to store up to 20 characters only. And then for gender, we are going to only store up to 6 because male is 4, has only 4 characters, and female is 6 characters. So up to 6 lang siya ang pwede niya limit. So beyond that, if more than like transgender or something like bisexual, so it's the only the first 6 characters are going to be stored. So for person age, let's leave that one also. And then um one of the most important thing in creating a table in database is this, what we call data type, the key, no? So right here, normally our ID, like student ID, employee ID, nurse ID, doctor ID, whatsoever, but as long as it's ID, the IDs are supposed to be unique and it cannot be changed its value. So these are defined to be primary key. And we'll be discussing this more on this in our succeeding topic. For this, we are going to assign ID as primary key. Okay, you just have to click on go, and then after that, okay, click on save button. So this time, you have here already a TBL sample. As you can see, you can click on structure. So the person ID has default type of 11 11 length of like for 11 digits rather. Okay, for name you have 20 characters, and then for your gender you have 6 characters, and your for tiny int you only have 4 digits. Okay, and then as you can see here, there's a key beside person ID because we defined it as primary key. Meaning to say, this cannot be changed and it's always permanent. Okay? So it should be unique. Okay? So now if you are going to, let's say, delete a certain value or a certain table column, you can simply click this one and then click on drop. Okay? If you want to change, you can actually click on the change this one. Let's say we want to change this into, let's say, only age. And then we want to change tiny int for or whatever data type you want or anything. And then after that, click on save. If you go back to structure, it will now become age. Okay. And then for drop, meaning it's going to be deleted. Okay. Another thing right here is you can add another column. So let's say if you want to add few more columns, let's say 3 or 4, you just forget to actually add another. Let's say we are going to add address. So you can simply click on, sorry, you can simply put here one, and then after that, there's after beginning after person ID, you can actually select to where it will particularly place. So let's say after age, and then let's click on go, and then you will have here you will have to type here address, and then let's say that's you can have here text, and then you just have to, you can have here a length or values, but anyway, our this XAMPP application will already assign values or length to it. So we have here now your columns. Now, if you are going to click on the browse, okay, so in the browse, you will see here your records. But since we don't actually store anything, we don't we are not a I mean we don't have here. It's an empty table. So it's an empty table, therefore we don't have any display for here. So now if you're going to like insert or store data to it, you can actually go to insert, and then right here you can type 1001 person name, let's say Mart, male, and let's say 16. Text is Davao City for address, and then you can add some more here. Let's say 1002, or you can actually click on go if you don't want to add another. So just click on go, and then this is the SQL statement for that action, or for that action you have just performed. So when you go to browse, as you can see, I have here the value 1001, or the records of Mart 1001 Mart Mail 16 Davao City. So you can edit this one, okay? And then let's say I'm going to edit this one to Marzel. Click on go, it will be changed to Marzel. You can also delete this one. Okay, you can also delete this one. If you want to, if you have more records here, you can actually check all and delete. Okay, and then yeah, if you want to insert more, you can insert anything you like. Okay, let's say 1002, uh, Anna. Okay, so you're female, up here, let's say 21, and then